The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the April 16th, a fantastic Friday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one and an extraordinary weekend. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I can make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But much more important than that, and that's this. During this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, go ahead and send me an email. Can't dial in, go ahead and give me a call. And that's pretty smooth, isn't it? But you can send me an email, steve@tfnn.com, and inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, in our Tiger's Den, we'll take any ping. So phone lines are open, the Tiger's Den is open, the email lines are open. So we'll just begin by taking a look at the market. So let's begin by looking at what? What do we want to look at first? Let's try to take a tour on some of my other screens out here. So let's do this, but let's put up first the quad of the daily equity future contracts out here. So let's do this, not necessarily going in any specific order. We're just kind of flowing through this. Now here is the daily time frame for the ESNQ, Dow, and the Russell 2000. So what we can see here, if you take a look at the ES Mini, what we're searching for is any kind of a topping signal. Today is going to become bar number 7 of a TD9 count. That says if there is going to be a top, short-term top, any kind of top at all inside the ES Mini, with that pattern, the earliest that could form would be after Monday. Now, it could be Monday. That would be bar 8, 9, 10. So Monday through Wednesday, potential for a top. We're not calling it a top just yet, but there is no, here's what we can say. As of 1:09 in the afternoon, there is no top in the ES Mini, and its patterns are suggesting to continue to move higher. In order for there to be an 8 count, there has to be a higher high above today's bar for sure. Could just be a spike, but still has to be a higher high. If we look at the NQ, if it can close above, and this is the high of bar number 1 that's listed out here, 13,994. What did we close at yesterday? Closed 13. Oh, we did. We closed above it yesterday. 13.9. Okay, great. So the NQ has actually negated its topping signal. So it doesn't have a topping pattern. Yes, there's an A to B equals CD. We covered that really during the 1 o'clock update out there as far as what its next price target is. But the NQ yesterday, and then you're having follow through today, negated that topping pattern. So there's no top inside the NQ. There's no top inside the ES Mini. Really important to understand. Not that it can't top, but there's no topping signal, no topping pattern that you and I, at least during the 1 o'clock hour, like to look for. If you look at the Dow, much like the ES Mini, today is going to become bar number 7. So it, too, if it's going to identify a top with this pattern, which we don't know, the earliest that could come would be Monday through Wednesday of next week. The Russell 2000 already has its top in place out here. If we expand that, you can see it's got wave number 7, that's letter G, a Rhodes momentum indicator signal out here. So everything is in place, and all price has been doing is just hovering around that oscillator and change line. Typically, it's been really just below it, which is a retracement signal because that line is green out here. So a red line would have a different message than the green oscillator and change line. So there's a top in place inside the Russell 2000. It's why I suggested even a couple of days ago as I was having that nice rally that there was really no signal to exit a short position inside the Russell 2000. And the charts really say that same thing. Let me see if, can I do this? Well, I can move this over here. Let's, I was going to try it. Yeah. So if you give me a minute, I'm just trying to navigate these. What we're going to do is switch over and take a look at the short-term time frame. So we're going to go from the daily. Let's get rid of that ugly mug. We're going to go from the daily over to the 30-minute time frame. So when we take a look at the ES mini, this is helpful because it helps you understand or gain some confidence with regard to this specific pattern or these patterns that we're taking a look at and how they operate and the different tools and lines that are on my chart patterns out here. Because what they do is they give you an unfair competitive edge. If we take a look at the ES mini on a 30-minute basis, it confirmed a TD9 count, and then after that TD9 count bar, it generated Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. Now, all price is doing is consolidating with inside its daily profile, 41.65 to 41.78. Because it's got an existing top in place right now, and with price below that green oscillator and change line, this is for the 30-minute time frame, what we're taking a look at is really a neutral type signal. Got a top, the price hasn't broken through support, and to break through support in the ES mini, the number you're looking at is going to be 41.5675. Not to be exact, but to be exact. 41.5675. If price doesn't close below that, no possible change in trend signal, at least at this stage of the game. If we take a look at the NQ, this formed a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Now in here, in this case, price broke down below the bottom of that daily profile, came back to a prior low out here, which held, and now it's just consolidating with inside that range. So there's a consolidation pattern inside of the NQ that's in operation on its 30-minute time frame as we speak. If we look at the Dow equity future contract, other than trying to form an A to B equals CD pattern, I don't have a topping signal there. And inside the Russell 2000 for its 30-minute time frame, no topping signal there. But you'll notice inside the Russell 2000 30-minute time frame chart, where is price trading? It's trading below the breakout level, the TD9 breakout level of 22.5110. And if price remains below that, that would suggest lower price. See how that oscillator and change line changed from green to red a few bars ago? In essence, that test is done. So it's really a bearish signal. Now, will the Russell 2000 take out the lows and head to 22.25.50? I don't know, but it should continue to head lower. At least that's the signal as of 1:13 in the afternoon. So that's what's going on with regard to the 4 equity future contracts for their daily and intraday time frames. So now let's go switch over and take a look at something else. What do we want to look at next? Let's go take a look at... Let's see if we can get this going. Let's get gold. So let me get that going on my other charts out here. And we'll go take a look at multiple time frames for gold, just simply to understand the messages that it's signaling to you and I. So we begin by taking a look at the upper left-hand corner. You have the monthly time frame for gold. What do we see out here? You see a TD9 count pattern that has brought price down to support or close to the support area, and that's the bottom of its monthly profile in the 1658 level. What do we have on a weekly time frame? Well, the weekly had a TD9 count top and a TD9 count bottom. And right now what price is doing is trying to take on that oscillator and change line. Remember, when we talk about the OUL out here, when it changes color, green to red, red to green, it tells us about an eventual test of price in that line. Now look, if gold here rejects a line, and we're trading right on it. The actual number is 1776.70. A close above that, we're at 1780 right now, would be a intermediate term positive and suggest that 1881 is on the horizon. And if price closes below the oscillator and change line, well, it hasn't proven itself this week. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. One of my favorite, and there's many of them, holiday season Christmas movies that are out there is one called The Holiday. Many of you probably have seen it, but there's a line, and there's several lines there that I like. But one of the lines that I like is, I'm looking for corny. Well, that's going to be a hint as to where we're going next. We're going to go take a look at corn with John in Philly. John, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
You do gotta love that film.
Yes, it is a great film. Great film. So corn, you want to take a look at May versus the December corn, correct?
Steve, I'm asking a question of myself, and I put it to you for the first time. Namely, I want to focus, I'm asking you to focus, please, on your chart work and indicators for the May corn contract. That is, the May corn futures, the corn that's still left in the bin that was grown last summer. It made a high at 601 yesterday. That's a record high for the past number of years.
Yes.
And I'm asking the question of myself: is there a potential top in place? Of course, the answer to that question is dependent upon a great many things, sure, not least of which is the growing weather looking out the next 120 days, which you and I cannot address. But having said that, that May corn futures on the hour or 90-minute bar chart potentially has a Pesavento 3 drive to a top pattern.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, I see on Tiger TV your monthly chart, wondering what the TD9 count it is, what that means. And on your daily chart, please, what price levels, if broken, suggest, a decline ahead?
Sure. So let's take a look at the monthly time frame chart first. And the month is not over, but it would appear that we are going to form a TD9 count pattern. Now, on the TD9 count pattern, it can be and this is bar number 9, it's the high of the pattern so far, so it's going to qualify. But it could also be the following month. So the monthly chart is suggesting, yeah, there's a potential for a top this month or next month. So that's helpful to understand on the bigger picture. The weekly time frame chart, though, if I take a look at that, this had formed a TD9 count probably about 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 weeks ago. And this week specifically, by the way, the high of that count, John, was 574.25. We're trading above. It looks like we're going to close above that. That's negating that signal. So we have diverging messages here. The weekly is saying, hey, I want to move higher. Now, it's really not a diverging message because the weekly says I want to move higher. The monthly says I'm in bar number 9, but this could form a higher high even next month. So actually, they're in sync out here. The daily time frame says the level that you want to watch to understand whether there's going to be a further retracement. I do not have a top. I take that back. So on the daily time frame, there is a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that happened this day when it formed a bearish shooting star candle. That was on April the 9th. And the high there is an important high, and that is at 595 even. Price has not closed above 595. It's tested it. That's okay, but it hasn't closed above it. If price did close above 595 on the daily, that would really be confirming what we just talked about on the weekly, John. So that's a level to watch to the upside. To the downside, the level you're watching is 580. If price closes below that, then that's going to suggest that price would pull back to the top of its profile, 564.50. That would be, let's be the next step on the way down. But you've got to close below that green oscillator unchanged line. And I take that back. I have one of my counts as wave number 7. So there is, on the daily basis, a topping signal that you and I like to track. And so this would really suggest to me that price should pull back to that 580 level. So that's a daily, weekly, and monthly. Now let's get into the intraday charts. And I'm going to just really start.
Steve, let me just stop right there. I'm watching Tiger TV, and
yeah.
I almost missed what you observed, namely peak 7. Repeat that, please.
Wave G, right up here. So
wave
I've got
G. Right.
peak 7, wave number 7, letter G. So I've got that as of yesterday on my time frame charts, on the way
good. Thank you.
Yeah, on the way that I do the Chapman wave counts out there. So that was one potential signal. And to me, that says when you get a valid top, typically what we see is price get down to test that oscillator unchanged line. Doesn't tell us how many days or what have you, but that's why that 580 is still open. Now, if we go to the shorter time frame charts, you had mentioned a 3 drive to a top on a 90-minute. I don't have a 90-minute chart up here, but that's okay because I know how good you are with that. So that's a potential topping signal on a 90-minute. What's the 30-minute look like? Well, the 30-minute chart out here actually has a bottom signal right now. So it generated a TD9 count bottom about an hour ago. And this would suggest we should see some kind of rally up to that. It's oscillator and change line in the 587, 588-ish type area out there. So to see a rally, this could just be a counter trend rally on that 30-minute time frame, give it up there and continue to move lower. If price does close above 588, you should see a move to 591 to 594. That would be its message on the 30-minute time frame. So opposite of the 3 drive to a top, but it really helps us to understand intraday what's going on here or what the signals are. In the 120-minute chart, this is suggesting a pullback maybe to 579. You've got a TD9 count and a Rhodes momentum indicator top on the 240. This says price could pull back to 570. So how would I summarize all of this data out here? I would say that the charts are signaling to us in corn that price still wants to move higher. But right now we've got a little bit of jostling to do. The real key thing would be if price could pull back to the 580 level, test and reject it on a daily basis, that green oscillator and change line, that would be like the next entry point on a move higher, or at least suggest that move higher, which is what the weekly chart is signaling to us right now.
Thanks very much, Steve. Can I ask you, on your daily chart, is the TAS market profile is the bottom of that? Do I see that down at 538, down near the March 30th low? Is that what I'm seeing?
You are, but before you go there, so thank you for bringing that up, the profile levels that form on NinjaTrader versus eSignal oftentimes are different. Not all the times, but oftentimes are different, more so in the commodity space. And so not that those aren't valid figures. And 564 was the top of the daily profile there. Here, if we take a look at – actually, I'm sorry. I take that back. They're all the same right now. So my apology because my eyes were floated somewhere else. But, yes, the answer to your question, 564, the top of the daily. 554 would be the center of its bearish structured profile. On any move lower, like a counter trend move lower, that would be real support in a bullish market. Or you've got the trend line in the bottom of that profile at 538.
Steve, thanks so much on that. I'll just, in closing, I will, in addition to thanking you, make this observation. If that's a high yesterday, 601,
yeah.
For a variety of reasons, including some of yours, I see a move lower, potentially very abrupt, literally within a week's time, possibly down to that 538 level. So thanks again. You have a good weekend.
You bet, John. Always good to hear from you. You do the same. Let me just check, folks, and just see if there's any. Been fairly quiet on a Friday, but that's okay. It's if you're down here in Florida, we're open. We're not just open for business. We're open for business at like 150% capacity. It's almost impossible in my town, Atlantic Avenue, great energy area, all kinds of restaurants. Unless you want to eat at 5 or 4:45 or 9:30, you can't get a seat. And there's no social distancing, folks, and there's no mask. And it's a beautiful thing. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. One of the questions inside the Tiger's Den during that last segment was to understand where the oscillator and change line is for the daily time frame for gold. And that's at 1734. So not anything to be worried about just yet because price is above resistance, which should become new support. And that's the top of that daily profile out there. So I hope that helps you all. We've got a question inside the Tiger's Den. Would love to have more questions for you. So please just fire away at Will, whoever Will is. But this question is about NIO. And NIO is the company called NIO. Now, the question is what? I think the question was just to look at it. NIO, please. So here's what we know about NIO. Right now, we can see is that prices held the bottom of its daily profile. Tested yesterday, tested today. That is at 3506. Now, this is the third highest low. Well, the second highest low. We had the low come in this instrument. This is back on March 4th. Then we had a retracement back down to the bottom of that daily profile, and that was March 26th. And then we've got another one, a test of a bottom of a daily profile, and another higher low out there. But we've got lower highs and higher lows. If you look at the weekly time frame chart, prices also pulled back to support the bottom of the weekly profile at 35.18. So before I go to my other charts, to the extent that you're looking for a reason to enter NIO, then I suggest that you at least have that reasoning here. And should you? Well, that's a different question. But if you saw a close below 35.18, the answer would be probably not a great idea to be long NIO. Now, let's go take a look at its other time frame chart, see if there's any other better entry or anything that we might be able to find out here, or pattern-wise, what's going on. Now, I'm only going to look at the daily. Well, I guess I'm going to look at the daily, weekly. Well, not really the monthly. Not going to be of tremendous assistance to us. But let's see if I can get this to expand. So here's the daily time frame first. So on the daily time frame, well, we also see you've got, bar number 8 of a TD9 count. Look at this area has been tested. It's held. So now you've got that as a signal. You've got the actual low out here is wave number 7. That's letter G. So NIO on its daily basis is really trying hard to form some type of a bottom out here. Now, resistance to the upside other than the daily profiles, the next resistance would be 45.02 should you decide to take that trade. Now, with price back at a support level, what we would like to do is we'd like to see some type of bottoming signal, change in trend signal, anything along those lines on a 30-minute time frame. So now we come all the way over to the 30-minute time frame. Well, as price was pushing lower this morning, testing the bottom of that daily profile, we can see this formed with this hammer candle. Oh, it looks like this was yesterday. My apology. This is yesterday. Forms a Rhodes momentum indicator signal with that hammer candle. It gets tested. Here looks like at the open today, that test held. So the 30-minute time frame chart, price is trading just above the top of that 30-minute profile, is giving you at least a counter trend rally signal. And that's really what's coming from this daily time frame. Each of these bottoms have led to some type of counter trend. Now, maybe because we've got lower highs out here, maybe that next counter trend rally ends at about the 38.22 level. So is that a great signal? It's not. Is it trying to form a bottom? Absolutely. I'd be lying to you otherwise, and I'm not going to do that. No other pattern other than holding support on the weekly time frame. So not much else for me to report to you on ticker symbol NIO. I hope that helps you out. And let's go to our next question out here. The next question is coming in from RIOT. It's coming in from the YouTube channel, and it's Rich. Rich wants to take a look at a couple different symbols. RIOT, Riot. Really a great name at this point in our society. Nothing but riots going on. And we're going to go take a look at Riot, which is Riot Blockchain. And right now, price is right at support. If we take a look at support, that's the bottom of its daily profile. Now, it's just a tad below that level being 44.87. You're at 44.61. Here we've got another one of these, another higher lows. Lower high, so you've got that triangle that's out there. Let's see if there's anything else that Riot is providing for you and I. What message does Riot provide us with? And the answer is really not much out here. So you'd be buying right now at support and a trend line, knowing that this may just be a counter trend rally that would take price up to 53.09, perhaps the 59.23 area, so somewhere in that range. That's really what the daily time frame chart is telling us. On an intraday, and just going to the 30-minute time frame chart, we can see a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom signal. Price hasn't been able to get to much traction really since that signal. Price has found resistance at the bottom of the 30-minute profile, so that's not a good thing out here. So what would I do with regard to Riot without any kind of really great daily pattern, any kind of weekly pattern? I'd stay away from this. I don't see a real compelling reason on the charts yet to enter a long trade on Riot. Let's go take a look at the next one, which is Bingo, BNGO. So let's get that populated here, BNGO on the black background charts. And for Bionaro Genomics, now this doesn't look great. Why doesn't it look great? Well, first let's go make sure. Maybe my eyes could be misleading us. I don't want to see that happen. Okay, it's so far it's okay. So there's a hammer candle that forms inside of Bionano Genomics. That hammer candle low, March 5th, and that is at 558. Now that's been tested and it's been rejected, it looks like, on much lighter volume. That was 59 million shares. So if you are a person that likes to buy a test and rejection of a swing point, and I don't know where it closes at 4 o'clock, but at 136, you've got your signal to go ahead and take that trade. Now, price is below profile levels. It's just above the top of the weekly profile level at 509. So your stop would have to be below 509 if you went ahead and took a long trade in this. Let's go see if there's any compelling reason on the daily or 30-minute time frame chart for Bingo to take that trade. Well, it just turns out that today is also going to become bar number 8 of a TD9 count. That says, in the case of Bingo, this bottom could form today, could be Monday, or could be Tuesday. And voila, when we take a look at it, look at where the breakout level is at. It's at 506. So here's how I would suggest, well, let's look at the 30-minute chart, see if there's anything compelling here before I start to bloviate. And the answer is no, there's not anything compelling here other than a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, wave number 7. But price hasn't been able to take out resistance, at least 587. That would be more compelling if price could take out that first level of resistance. In fact, if you look at this 30-minute time frame chart, what is it that you notice about every rally? Where do those rallies end, if they can even get up there? The tops of these 30-minute profiles. We haven't seen a close above the top of a 30-minute profile in quite some time. And I'm just taking us back here. It looks like April 8th. We can go back even further out here. So you'd have to go to April 5th before, on a 30-minute basis, you saw a close of, remember, I shared with you that this is a unfair competitive edge. Do me a favor, keep this a secret. Don't tell anybody else. Just keep this between you and me out here. But how valuable is understanding that on the 30-minute basis, with regard to its patterns, with regard to its counter trend rallies, where in fact they have run it, where they've petered out, nothing against Peter, by the way, and so how helpful is that to you? Look, it's at 563. I'm sure you'd like to buy it at 563 versus 587 if you knew that this was a bottom out here. But why not let it prove itself to you? Because if price closes over 587, 2 bars in a row, isn't that a pretty good indication that you've got a change in trend? You certainly have a change in the trend that it has been in since April the 5th. So just be patient and wait. This could bottom early next week. If not today, but early next week. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go out to Boulder, Colorado, and speak with Roger. Roger, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing today? Do we have Roger?
Yeah.
Hey, perfect.
Can
Roger.
you hear me?
I can hear you now just fine. I know you want to discuss Taiwan Semiconductor. The ticker symbol there is TSM. Can you tell the folks how I can best help you?
Well, I've owned it for about 6 months or so, and I'm in positive cash on this, but I'm just wondering, is it going to go back to the previous high?
Okay. So let's take a look at what it's doing here, and we'll just begin by taking a look at the 3 different time frames to understand support, resistance, where it's trading above or below. And the daily time frame right now shows this is going to be day number 2 below a key support level. That key support level is 119.60. Now, because it's giving you a little change in trend signal on the daily time frame, what I like to do, Roger, is move over and take a look at the weekly time frame. And on the weekly profiles, we see a bullish structured profile, price moving back, and the support areas between 111.32 and 114.75. So right now, just take a look at these charts. They're suggesting that price might get back to those levels. If they get back to 111.32 or 114.75, are you still in a good position, a decent position?
Yeah, I'm still positive on that.
Okay, good. So, but 111.32 is going to be really key for you. Now, the monthly time frame, we're going to just forget about looking at that because that would say any pullback would get to 95.84. You'd be well out of this position before that. So we're not going to spend any time there. I'm going to look at the daily again using my other white background charts. And this is also signaling to me that we could see a further retracement out there. So that supports what we looked at on the weekly time frame. I don't have anything on a weekly time frame to suggest that that's not a reasonable analysis either. So it does look like it wants to continue to pull back. And when I look at a 30-minute just on an intraday time frame, I don't see any kind of a bottom. I continue to see lower highs, lower lows out there. And it would appear that that pattern is going to continue with price getting back to that support area, that buy range on the weekly time frame. And again, Roger, that's between 111.32 and 114.75. Does that help you?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank you very much for calling, and have a great weekend. Let's go to Brent in Martinez, California. Brent, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good, Steve. I'm having a multitask here. I was right in the middle of doing some finished carpentry, so I'll put my nail gun down. I'll talk to you. So.
Ooh, dangerous with the nail gun.
Just my little finish nailer, but it would hurt if you put a pin nail through your finger or something.
Yeah. So we're going to take a look at Conformis Inc. Ticker symbol here is CFMS. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the one. What I was calling about, Steve, is it seems like it's been down at this level before on 80 cents. And if I'm not mistaken, this is bar 9 on the daily. But if you could take a look at that and just get your general thoughts on it.
Absolutely. So you do have a brand new profile, Brent, that formed today. And that's been tested, the bottom, which is at 81 cents. The top of that profile is 97. This is a slightly bullish structured profile. So that's the first thing that we know. The second thing you asked me, is today going to become bar number 9? And the answer there is yes. However, it's not the low of the pattern. So far, the low of this pattern is bar number 6. And bar number 6, that low is 80 cents. And the actual low, as we talked about this morning, is 81 cents, 1 penny away. Does it make a difference? Well, it makes a difference in the way that my system generates the information. So if this is going to be a TD9 count bottom, you'd like to see one more spike lower come Monday and then hold that profile again. Get back above 81 cents. This too has a hammer candle from back in the early part of March down at 80 cents. So that should be good support. And what you and I would know is if 80 cents fails, nothing like if you're wrong, you're long because of a close below a hammer candle. But that would suggest then price could pull back to 70 cents. 70 cents being the actual breakout level on a daily time frame for Conformis. On a weekly basis out here, as we take a look at it, I don't have anything to suggest that price might not pull back further, like to the 72 cent area. That's the bottom of its weekly profile. And nothing really significant on the 30-minute to show us. So to summarize what I just shared with you, yesterday will likely be, well, I take that back, Brent. Hold on a minute here. If price closes above 83 cents, and you're at 85 right now, if price closes above 83 cents, you will not have a TD9 count pattern. It will go away today. Okay. Yeah, so watch that. I almost missed that. Which just means you won't have that pattern. And then the only thing then to really rely upon is the bottom of that profile out there. That's all that you would have from a pattern standpoint that I can see at the moment.
Okay, yeah, the last time I bought is we were talking about it, that 70-cent range, and I sold up at about 40. That was a nice trade. It was kind of a quick move up there. So I've just been waiting to see if there's another potential opportunity to buy back in. That's why I called you. Yeah,
so, what this is suggesting, and because of that daily profile, it'll have to be it doesn't have to be, but it would likely be a spike down below that 80 cents. Do you really have to test the tick of that hammer candle from March 5th? Because certainly what you have today, Brent, from a volume standpoint, that hammer candle did volume of 7.07 million shares. You're at nearly 2 million shares right now. So you're getting this successful test. You've just missed that swing point by basically 2 cents out there. But it does look like a potential for a bottom. And if it fails, 72 cents is where price would head to, 70 to 72 cents.
Okay, I think I'll wait till Monday and see where we're at.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, go back to your carpentry work. Have a blast. Have an enjoyable weekend. And we'll look forward to speaking to you next week.
All right, thanks so much, Steve. Have a great weekend. You take care.
You bet. That was Brent in Martinez, California. Now, we had a request to take a look at the OIH. One of our dentists was looking for an entry point there. So let me see if I can pull that chart over here pretty quickly while they're updating. Come on, there we go. So now here's the OIH. And we take a look at this is the Oil Service Holders Trust. What we don't have out here on a daily time frame, I believe it might have been S&P that was asking for this, is any kind of bottom signal. And 2 days ago, what we saw was that was the test, and turns out to be rejection of that oscillator and change line, which had changed color. So S&P, I'm not getting a great feel here on the an entry point right now for the OIH. Now, price may pull back and just simply test its next breakout level, 178.50. We don't have any kind of bottoming signal, but pulling back to a breakout level, like testing a swing point, can be an entry into a position out there. If 178.50 were to fail, 159.80 would become the price target. But right now, the daily chart is not giving you any kind of signal into an entry point. The weekly chart is also saying, hey, you know what? I've got more retracement to do. I form a TD9 count top, and you can see the last two tops out here in OIH on a weekly basis, TD9 count tops. It's below the oscillator and change line. It's green. That says further retracement. So that suggests that the entry area, potentially, for the OIH is going to be between $153, 153.25, and 164.20. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for waiting. We get back to this break. We just have a few minutes to try to wrap up maybe a couple of questions that have come in. One from, it looks like Dean, wants to take a look at Edit and CRISPR, or CRISP. I don't know if we'll be able to get to both of them. And Dan wants to take a look at Plug. We'll at least get to each of the at least one of each of those. Steve Rhodes with TFNN.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Let's see what we get through here. 3 symbols, perhaps in 2 minutes' time. Genetic technology. We can see price right now is sitting on support. That's the bottom of its weekly profile. That's at the 378 level. As we take a look at the white background charts out here, what do we see on the daily time frame? Really not much. Just a consolidation, a sideways consolidation with price getting back towards the bottom of that consolidation. That's a TD9 count low. If you want to take the consolidation trade, go ahead and enter it now, and you would close it out if you saw a close below $3.58. Does the 30-minute chart support taking that? Well, you can see you've got a Rhodes momentum indicator signal here. Nothing that's broken through resistance such as 396, but it is giving you a signal of potentiality, if that is even a word out there. And that was on ticker symbol GENE. The next one is to take a look at EDIT, EDIT. And as we take a look at EDIT, the question here, I believe, was to look for a long-term, intermediate-term entry. Well, if you look at intermediate term, look at this. Price is below the bottom of the daily profiles, the bottom of the weekly profiles. It's inside the monthly profile, so it's going to need a real compelling reason to step into a long position here. As we take a look at its weekly time frame, we don't have that compelling position. If anything, the weekly says price is going to pull back to 2015. That's almost, that's 40% discount or so from where things are trading right now. That's what the weekly, and you wanted to know about the intermediate term time frame. Now, the daily shows that what's been triggered here is a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. If you do get a bullish reversal candle, well, then that would be a entry point into it. So watch for that over the coming days here, and that is for ticker symbol EDIT. Well, with about 10 seconds to go, let's take a look at plug. If we take a look at plug out here, today is going to become bar number 9 of a TD9 count. And so those of you that are looking to get into a long position on plug, you're going to have that reason. Well, this is the weekly chart. So the weekly chart says a TD9 count bottom. What's the daily say? The daily says, let's take a look at this on Monday. The price is pulled back to a support area, and that's at 207. Whoops. Hold on, move forward. That's still the weekly. My apology, folks, that we couldn't get this done. Let's look at this on Monday. Hey, have a fantastic weekend. Be safe out there. Stay tuned for 2 more great hours.